God. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yeah, hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? On a Sunday. This game industry is funny. Starfield coming to PlayStation? This sounds like a rumor, you know. I did a video earlier today, and I took it. I said, nah, that's not it. Because usually I like to read my articles. Starfield coming to PlayStation? I'm going to put a question mark by this. Starfield is coming to PlayStation? I mean, Microsoft, okay, they have momentum, right? They have momentum. They bought ZeniMax Bethesda, 1. They brought Gamepass to the forefront, 2. They brought Activision Blizzard, 3. They have momentum, right? You're doing fine. But then you made money during the pandemic. We get it, we understand it. You laid off 1,900 people. Then there's news all over the place about a European retailers not carrying Xbox games. And now Starfield is coming to PlayStation. After the PlayStation fans just review bombed Starfield. The PlayStation fans, they owe Bethesda an apology. They do. And I see news all over the web. People talking about Xbox is dead. Well, I say to those people, not really. Because, you know, Microsoft, you know, they have all those studios that they're working on. They have Game Pass everywhere. Now, they were giving out 10-year contracts during the Activision Blizzard deal. So, putting Game Pass on PlayStation? Listen to this. Says here, exclusive, Microsoft plans Starfield launch for PlayStation. Says here, for many weeks now, rumors have persisted regarding Microsoft's intention to release a number of first-party, namely Hi-Fi Russian Sea of Thieves, on rival platform. According to our sources, who have asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about the company's plan. That list of games can also include Bethesda studio Starfield. What that means is that they can be fired for it. It says here, Starfield released back in August of 2023 to fairly positive reception. Then it says, despite the narrative that now exists online, and was the biggest Bethesda game launch of all time, surpassing 6 million players within a week of release. Now it looks like as though Microsoft are planning to bring in Bethesda's newest RPG universe to an entirely new platform, PlayStation 5. It says, according to sources, we understand that currently Microsoft are planning to launch for Starfield on PlayStation 5 post the release of already announced Shattered Space expansion for Xbox and PC, which is on target to arrive at some point later this year. We've also been informed that Microsoft has made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kits to support ongoing development efforts, adding further fuel to the fire. It says, as already existing rumors have suggested, the idea of bringing first-party titles to competing platform marks a massive change in strategy for Microsoft, and from what I understand, it's not been without fierce internal debate on this new direction. Yeah, that means a lot of people don't like it. It says, releasing Starfield on PlayStation 5 contradicts the original statement around exclusive made by President of Xbox Sarah Bond during the Xbox Bethesda Game Studios Summer Showcase 2021. Sarah Bond said this: "It is awesome to share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard's and the theme at Bethesda Game Studios, a groundbreaking game, and yes, it's exclusive." To Sarah Bond, president of Xbox and Microsoft, Xbox Bethesda Game Studio. Okay, it says according to our sources, Microsoft senior leadership have reportedly debated the various pros and cons of releasing more of their exclusive software elsewhere, and internally, not everyone necessarily happy with the direction, but recouping the potential money left on the table by not releasing elsewhere has arguably won out. According to sources, Hi-Fi Rush Revival platform is tentatively planned for first quarter this year, and we've seen advised to expect Microsoft to make more public announcements on this new strategy this month. How do you feel about Starfield coming to PlayStation 5 after all? Let us know in the comments below. Starfield coming to PlayStation? Well, Game Pass is on every PC platform there is, including the clouds for Apple too. They said, well, Phil Spencer did say Game Pass is a service, and they even got Game Pass on our Samsung TVs, right? And remember those 10-year contracts during the Activision Blizzard court case? Microsoft gave out 10-year contracts. Well, that was part of it. Nintendo even got a 10-year contract. So if the Switch is up to par, then Starfield might be on the Switch. Yep. I think Microsoft is like, okay, we got all this wealth. Why keep it? We got all this wealth. Do we cut the world off and keep it to ourselves? Or do we take this wealth and spread it? You know? And they probably debated this for days, weeks, and even months. And remember Phil Spencer said when they bought ZeniMax Bethesda, we're dealing with games on a case-by-case basis. But to me, in order to play Starfield on PlayStation, that means Game Pass is going to PlayStation. That means Game Pass is going to Nintendo. That's what all this is all about. This is all about Game Pass. I said this months, weeks, days, and even years ago when I said this. The entire world runs on Windows. The entire world runs on Windows. The entire video game industry runs through Microsoft. I told you it's a Game Pass world, and we're living in it. So, based on what I'm seeing with this now, Microsoft is trying to get Game Pass. I said this years ago. Microsoft is trying to get Game Pass on anything, you know. So in order for PlayStation fans to play Starfield on PlayStation, that means Game Pass has to be on Starfield. Game Pass has to be on PlayStation. Okay? And that means in order for Nintendo to even play Starfield 2, the Switch will have to be up to par to handle that game. And then Nintendo signed a 10-year contract with Microsoft, so that means Game Pass is coming to PlayStation and Nintendo. So Microsoft is trying to put Game Pass, you know, it's like in order to play Xbox games, I mean Xbox players can still play their games. But Microsoft now is like, okay, you know what? Let's not just keep our games on Xbox and PC. Let's put it on the competitors like Sony, Nintendo. Because that's what this article is talking about. Look, it says dev kits. It says, look, Microsoft have made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kits to support ongoing development efforts, adding further fuel to the fire. Game Pass is going to PlayStation. That's all this is saying. Game Pass is going to PlayStation and Nintendo. That's what this is all about now. Remember, I told you. I said, I told you about this Game Pass thing when I talked about it months and years ago. When I said, whoever got the title, runs the video game industry. And I told you, I said it's a Game Pass world and we're living in it. The entire world run on Windows, but the entire video game industry runs through Microsoft. And Microsoft buying ZeniMax Bethesda was one thing, but then Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard is another. See, when Facebook passed on Activision, Activision was up for grabs. So Microsoft, Phil Spencer said, sales is not the end all be all to video games, but he also said to Sony and Nintendo, he said Sony and Nintendo is not our competitors. So when Activision Blizzard was up for grabs, Microsoft's like, oh really? And then they saw all the competitors, they beat everybody to it. So in order to make Game Pass stronger, Microsoft had to get Activision Blizzard. So now that they got them now, they have all this momentum now. But now, during the Activision Blizzard court case, it went over so much. Microsoft now was giving out 10-year contracts. So now, Nintendo signed up. Remember, Sony tried to play hardball, and they said they didn't want to accept the deal, but they accepted it. They accepted it. So Sony accepting a 5-year, accepting the deal. Nintendo signing up for a 10-year contract. That means Game Pass will be on will in order to play Starfield on PlayStation. That means Game Pass will be on PlayStation, and Game Pass will be on Nintendo. So it's like Microsoft, to me, based off what I'm seeing now, Microsoft is trying to checkmate the video game industry. That's what this all comes. That's what it's looking like, by putting Game Pass on everything, while Sony and Nintendo sitting there playing conservative. Microsoft is like, you know what? Let's bring our games everywhere, every kind of device we can find. And this news now of Microsoft have made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kit to support ongoing development efforts. That means Game Pass will be going to it looks like Game Pass will be going to PlayStation. It looks like Game Pass could be going to Nintendo signed a 10-year contract, so it looks like Game Pass could be going to Nintendo. That's what all this looks like. So Starfield on PlayStation. Remember, Phil Spencer also said he wants people to play together. He wants people to play together. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, and that's what I'm getting from this. So, good strategy. Now, is Xbox dead? No, I don't think so. I think this was also with Game Pass being on every platform now. Now people can do the cross-platform play. Cross-platform play now will be is a part of this. That's what I'm getting from all this. Cross-platform play is a part of this. Yeah, is a part of all this. You know, and yeah, Microsoft is making moves, man. They got all these studios. They got all these studios. They're making games. But I think Microsoft is trying to bring the gaming community, bringing the gaming community together under one roof. That's what it look. That's what this looks like, man. From the whole situation, you know. So yeah, Game Pass coming to PlayStation. By the looks of this, Starfield, but Starfield is on Game Pass. In order to play Xbox games on, let's say the Steam Deck, the Asus ROG, Lenovo, Oxo, all those portable PCs, you know, they gotta have Game Pass. So by the looks of this move, Microsoft is, and by Nintendo, they signed up for the 10-year deal and all that. Microsoft is trying to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo. That's what all this look like, man. And yeah, it's a Game Pass world, and we're just living in it, you know. So yeah, I said this statement years ago, and that's what this looks like, you know. I had did a video on this earlier, but I didn't read the article, but I had to redo it over. So, you know, because I had a momentum going, you know, but I forgot to read the article because I was so into it. But by the looks of this, looks like Microsoft is trying to get Game Pass on PlayStation and Nintendo. That's what this looks like. But anyway, any more news break on this, I will let you guys. I will definitely cover it. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Port Dark Side.